Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Prize Picks video. In this one, we're talking about the NFL for Thursday, October 3rd. We got Falcons, Bucks for this one, and 4 picks in the video for you guys to consider. So stay tuned to hear all 4 of these. And if you want more picks from me and a bunch of other cappers, check out the Dynamo private Discord. We post in all sports over here. You can see some big wins that we posted and hit in the channel. College football picks from Saturday, some NFL picks hitting with demons, another fat NFL slip. We post underdog picks as well over here. You can see some big hits from the NFL and college last weekend. Some other cappers, 5 for 5 day yesterday for Volo here. He just posted his 5 favorite picks. All of them hit. You can see on Tuesday another capper, Jordan, just posted 3 picks. His favorite from the MLB went 3 for 3 on his picks. So definitely check it out. It's less than $1 per day, or if you just put $5 on those 3 picks from Jordan, that's how much it costs a month. So if we can help you just win a $5 3-pick slip, definitely going to be worth it. So get over there for more picks in all sports. And also check out Parlay Play. We're partnering with them, and right now, if you sign up, you get $5 for free. You don't even have to deposit, and you can play with that. With my $5, I took a slash neighbors line and over on Brandon Aubrey field goals, but they also have a 100% deposit match over here as well that you could take advantage of, and a bunch of slash lines and picks with higher payouts over there. So both those will be linked down below. Definitely join up in the Dynamo private Discord. More picks from me in all sports, plus a bunch of other cappers. You saw some big hits over there. We've been going on some crazy streaks as well, so check it out. Now let's get into the picks for this video. For the first one in the video, we're going with a super exciting pick here. We're going with a kicker, Chase McLaughlin. So I'm going to take him over on 1.5 field goals made for this game. For me, this game, I think it could be a little more high scoring than they expect. And Atlanta's actually favored in this. I like Tampa in this game. Not exactly sure why Atlanta is the favorite, but I do like Tampa, so I think they're going to score around 30, and then the Falcons will come in somewhere in the lower 20s. So I'm liking some Tampa players here. First off is going to be McLaughlin here on his field goals. If we look at him over on the season, we can see that he has hit this in 3 of 4 games. Just didn't hit it in this Denver game when they scored 7 total points. Like I said, I expect them to score a good amount. They put up 33 last week, 20 against Detroit, and 37 in the first game. You can also see him last year when this offense wasn't exactly cooking like they are so far this year. He hit this in 13 of 19 of their games, or 68% of their games. Also, if we come up to the top and look on the side, field goals allowed, Atlanta allows the most field goals per game so far this year at 3 per game. So definitely another good stat here to see for McLaughlin. So I'm definitely liking him, liking this one. Another tool I use is OddsJam. They do have a free trial for 7 days. You could find the link for them down below if you want to check it out. I use it every day so I don't go against these sportsbooks, because in the end you're going to be better off going with what sportsbooks are liking. So you can see 1.5 field goals. It's minus 125 on DraftKings, minus 130 on MGM, minus 135 on Caesars. So some of the top sportsbooks here really liking this one to go over. It's a pick I'm also liking for this. And then you can see right below here we have Bucky Irving pulled up as well. Their favorite pick for him is going to be the receptions at 1.5. This is one I'm really liking as well. I do think they're going to just get him more and more involved every week. I feel like they're looking for a reason to cut Rashad White a little more, but he had a good game last week, so maybe this will be the week that Bucky Irving completely outperforms him and he'll get more snaps than him finally. But I'm liking him on the receptions here. They like to get him the ball, and he can make a play. He's really an explosive running back, so I do think he's going to hit this one on the receptions. And again, you can see the sportsbooks lines on this, minus 135 on MGM. So over here we can see, obviously a rookie, so we can only look at stats from 4 games. But first game he got 2, then 0, 3, and only 1 last game, when they were ahead pretty big, like 14-17 all game basically. This one is supposed to be close, and Atlanta actually is supposed to win this. So in a game where it's supposed to be closer, I do think they'll be passing more. He should be able to get some catches here. Coming over here to look at the snap counts for Tampa Bay here, we can see Bucky Irving first week played 31% of the snaps. Week 2, just 35, then 32. Last week, 42%. I do think every week from now on, they're going to keep bumping him up to around 50-50 split with White here. We saw 8% of snaps from Sean Tucker as well last week, and I think that was mostly due to the blowout, getting their third running back in there, so these guys, don't have an injury risk. And I think if Tucker wasn't in there, Irving would have seen even a higher percentage than 42, but still 32 snaps he played. I think we could be pushing 40 snaps for Bucky Irving in this game and moving forward. So liking him in this spot on the reception is going to be going to him. The next one, we're coming to Atlanta, and we're going to look at Drake London here. So for Drake London, on the receiving yards at 63.5. FanDuel has this one at 61.5. DraftKings 62.5. We're getting that at 63. I like the under on this for Drake London. I don't love this spot for Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta offense. I mean, Cousins has thrown 238, 230, 241, 155. Not exactly lighting the world on fire here. I do think he could struggle in this. His passing line's right around 228.5, something like that. So they are expecting him to throw a little less yards than his last 3 games as well here, which is an interesting line for Cousins. That they did lower it, and Drake London has yet to have a big game with Kirk Cousins. I don't see this one as a breakout game situation. Tampa Bay actually has been pretty good against receivers this year, even though they've been in some games where they've had massive leads. You would think they would be giving up some receiving yards late in the game as teams are trying to come back. Hasn't exactly been the case. You could see 63.5 for Drake London. So far in the season, 64, 67. His last 2 barely was getting there. Before that, 52, 54, and 15 here. So a 50% hit rate. You can also look at Tampa Bay, what I was talking about, 19th in yards allowed per game at 220 receiving yards. But you can look at against receivers. And against receivers, they allow just the 9th least receiving yards here at 121 for receivers per game, which is not very much considering you got to spread that around to multiple receivers here. So for London, not liking it. We can also go back to 2023, and we could see 69% of his games, 11 of 16 last year for Drake London. He went under this. He had just a couple massive games here. Obviously, anytime, a good receiver can break off a long catch here and hit those receiving yards, but we're just banking on that not happening in this case. Nearly 70% of the time last year he was going under this line as well. Getting a bit of a discount here, 63.5 compared to, like we saw, 61.5 on FanDuel. So we're going to be taking the under for him. And then his fellow receiver here, Darnell Mooney, going to be going to the under here at 4 catches. And honestly, this one possibly could get bumped up to 4.5. I know I've seen it at 3.5, now 4. Seems like people are liking Mooney, but I think still at 4 we could see taking the under. If this jumped up to 4.5, definitely really liking it, but I think at 4 is one I'm looking to go to as well. Mooney has been playing a ton of snaps, but so has Kyle Pitts in this offense. Doesn't mean you're going to get a lot of catches. There was one huge Mooney game, which I think kind of threw off a lot of things for Darnell Mooney. Like we saw, if we just go to Outlier here to look at some stats, the line of 4, he's only hit that one time where he got 8 catches. His other 3 games with the Falcons so far, he's gotten 1, 3, and 3. So we just need him not to get 5 here. We'd be okay with a push, but honestly, I think it can go under 4. Again, they just had a massive game here with 8 receptions. Not exactly sure why he had this huge game here. But when I think of Darnell Mooney, I kind of think of him as a boom or bust receiver. He may see a decent amount of targets, but a lot of these targets are going to be kind of deep downfield targets for the most part. He's not going to catch a huge percentage of them. So what we did see in that game was he was 8 for 8 on his targets and receptions. So maybe in this game he saw a lot of shorter passes, but first game was 1 for 3, then 3 for 7. His last game, 3 for 6. So, he could see 6 or 7 targets, but most of the time he's not going to be catching over 50% of those. So I'm liking to go to the under for Mooney here. And if you guys want more picks from me plus a bunch of other cappers in all sports, check out the Dynamo private Discord. You can see an earlier Monday Night Football game, we hit on 10 of our 13 picks in the Discord. Some other crazy streaks like a 14-2 MLB run in my channel over 5 days. Recently some big hits like these over here on Underdog. Volo also went 5 for 5 with all the picks he posted in his channel. So we just post our favorite picks in all sports. If you want to get in here, it's less than winning a $5 3-pick slip. So if we can help you do that, definitely going to be worth. That'll be linked down below. And if you're looking for another place to play like Prizepicks or Underdog, definitely check out Parlay Play. Once you sign up, they're just going to put $5 in your account to play with, and they have slash lines, so that's what I did with my $5 here. But then they also have a 100% deposit match as well over here for even more free money to play with. So check them out, join up in the Discord, and subscribe to the channel.